Hey everybody, so this week in writing, we are going to be launching a new unit in literary writing. And what that means is we are just going to be writing about reading. And you know how I always say that reading and writing go together. So what we're going to be doing this week is that as skilled readers, we are going to be paying attention, especially to the characters in the books that we are reading. And we're going to see what struggles they go through, what experiences they go through, and what that really tells us about them as a character. But in order to do this successfully, we have to go back and really analyze the details and what the author's telling us to make sure we really understand our characters. So to get this started, we're actually going to go back to a story that we read in the beginning of the school year titled Fox by Margaret Wilde, and we're going to kind of talk about some of those characters. So to sort of refresh your memory, you may be thinking about Dog and Magpie and Fox and their experience and what we actually learned about them as characters. So to get started, I'm just going to go back and read just the beginning of the story, and we're going to think about what we kind of notice about the character Dog. So I'm going to just go ahead and begin reading the beginning of the text, and I want you guys to keep Dog in mind, and we're going to talk about how we can actually go back into a text and start thinking about the claims we want to make, meaning how would you describe Dog? So we're going to make a claim. How would you describe Dog? And then we're going to talk about how can I find evidence to support my claim. And we want to start thinking about those linking phrases and words that we've been using all year long to connect our ideas to our text. For example, also in the text it says, you guys know this. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Through the charred forest over hot ash runs Dog with a bird clamped in his big, gentle mouth. He takes her to his cave above the river, and there he tries to tend her burnt wing. But Magpie does not want his help. I will never again be able to fly, she whispers. I know, says Dog. He is silent for a moment. Then he says, I am blind in one eye, but life is still good. So I'm just going to stop right there, and I'm going to go back to that sentence in the very beginning when the author described Dog's mouth as gentle. And right away, that starts making me think gentle, nice, probably caring. And since we already read this story, I'm not going to go through the entire text. I'm just using it as an example to kind of help you guys get ready for your work today. But if I'm going with the claim, meaning what I think about this character, Dog, that he is caring, I need to make sure that I can fully support that with additional details. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just go down a little bit further into the book, and I'm going to look for some more details that can tell me or help support Dog being caring. So later on, he persuades her to go with him to the riverbank, and Magpie drags her body into the shadow of the rocks until she feels herself melting into blackness. Days, perhaps weeks later, she wakes with a rush of grief. Dog is waiting. So that was back when Magpie got hurt and she stayed in that cave where he brought her, and weeks and weeks and weeks went by and Dog just waited for her. So that also shows me that he is caring. So I feel like I can continue looking for maybe another detail in the text, and that can help me support my claim. So remember, as skilled writers, it's important to have the evidence that you're trying to put out there to support what you're saying. So we're trying to prove our claim about a character Dog that he is caring. So later on in the text it says he persuades her to go with him to the riverbank, hop on my back, look into the water. Magpie's just doing what he says, and then he eventually starts running as fast as he can, and it almost felt like they were flying, and Magpie was really happy. Why do you think that would show that he's caring? It does, because Magpie had the broken wing, and he's kind of making it, feel happy for her that he's her friend, and he's going to make her feel like she can fly again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this model here where it's showing that our claim is dog is caring. And I'm going to start by saying that I believe that dog is a caring friend. I think this because he is always doing nice things for Magpie. He's always there for her. He shows how much he cares for her by making sure she's okay and helping her. So it's kind of just how I would explain it in my own words. But then the next part of being a skilled writer is when I'm writing about reading, I want to really prove my point. So now I'm going to go back into the text like we kind of just did already. And I'm going to use evidence from the text here. And I'm going to say, in the text it says, and you notice I have that kind of bolded because those are the linking phrases we want to keep using. In the text it says, when Magpie wakes up, days or weeks later, dog is waiting for her. It is a simple sentence, but it shows that he is caring because he didn't want to leave her by herself. So if you notice there, I explained my thinking. Another example from the text is when Magpie said, I see a new strange creature, she says. That is us, says Dog, when they were looking at their reflection. Now hold on tight. With Magpie clinging to his back, he races through the scrub, past the stringy barks, past the clumps of yellow box trees, and into the blueness. He runs so swiftly, it is as if they were almost flying. This also shows, connecting, an example that Dog is caring because he is helping Magpie feel like she is flying, since he knew that her wing was broken. This makes me think that Dog is so caring, and I would love to have a caring friend like that. So at the end, I kind of just tied it all together. I kind of wrapped it up at the end where I focused on a character. I made a claim. So I'm saying what I think about that character, whether it was something to do with their character traits, a struggle, a motivation. And then I found evidence to just support what I was thinking. And all I'm doing is I'm writing about what I've read. So we're going to give that a try today with the text Rose Blanche, where I want you to think about that main character Rose, and I want you to make a claim about her. But remember, whatever claim, so it's kind of like what you think about this character, whatever you're writing about her, you need to find the evidence to support it in the text. Remember, you want to make sure you're using your linking words and phrases and examples from the text to help support your claim.